Hello and welcome back to Luminal. Today's video goes over some widely known horror movies that were based on real life events. Before we get started, I would like to ask you, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy. The 1988 movie Child's Play is loosely based on the history of Robert the Doll. In the early 1900s, a boy named Eugene Robert Otto, also known as Gene, was gifted a handmade doll, which he named Robert. Gene immediately began growing a special attachment to Robert the Doll. He took him anywhere he went and even dressed him up in a tiny sailor suit. As the years passed, odd occurrences kept occurring around Robert, such as overturning of furniture, his face expressions changing, as well as reappearing in an upstairs rocking chair after being locked up in the attic. When Robert was in the attic, he would be heard giggling and pacing back and forth by any guest the Ottos would have. Soon after Eugene's death, the following family that moved into the house had a daughter who found Robert in the attic and began experiencing similar occurrences. The family quickly gave Robert the doll to the East Martello Museum, where he sits now and is said to torment those who attempt to take a photo of him. On the topic of possessed dolls, Annabelle the Haunted Doll is a red yarn-haired classic Raggedy Ann doll that was gifted to a nurse by her mother. The nurse and her roommate began noticing Annabelle would constantly change positions and locations around the apartment on her own, as well as finding random pieces of parchment paper on the floor with messages such as "help me" or "help us." At one point, a friend that spent the night woke up to the feeling of being strangled, only to find Annabelle staring at him at the foot of the couch and a deep fresh scratch on his upper body. The supernatural activity and violent attacks simply got worse when the two roommates allegedly gave a spirit permission to inhabit the doll. It was after this that Ed and Lorraine Warren stepped in to help the two roommates get rid of the doll, locking Annabelle away behind glass doors in the Warrens' occult museum. Ed and Lorraine Warren were famously known paranormal investigators who worked on several cases, one of which was the Enfield poltergeist that tormented a little girl named Janet, whose story got shared in the 2016 movie The Conjuring 2. The Hodgson family, a single mother and her 4 children, were experiencing supernatural behaviors within their house, such as repeating knocking noises and moving furniture. These activities were also witnessed by police officials, the Hodgson neighbors, and many more. A photographer assigned to the house captured Janet levitating as well as experiencing flying objects in the kitchen. Janet was also witnessed going into a trance-like state, speaking in a raspy manly voice, identifying herself as a 72-year-old ghost named Bill Wilkins. According to Janet, it wasn't until autumn of 1978 when the Warrens and the priest blessed the house, causing the odd occurrences to begin slowing down. However, they never truly stopped. The 2018 movie Veronica is loosely based on the story of Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro, a young girl from Vallecas, South Madrid, who dabbled in the occult. It was said Estefania was performing a seance using a Ouija board in the school bathroom, trying to contact a friend's recently deceased boyfriend. In the process of the seance, the group witnessed strange smoke going up Estefania's nose and mouth right before they got interrupted by a teacher. Over the next months, Estefania began experiencing strange sightings at night, as well as suffering from seizures and hallucinations. Her parents took her to different doctors, all who were unable to assist in any way. After a few months passed, Estefania was found in her bedroom in a coma state and taken to the hospital, where she unexplainably passed away. Both 2007 movies, An American Crime and The Girl Next Door, are films based on the life of 16-year-old Sylvia Likens. Sylvia's parents had an agreement with Gertrude Beneseski, a single mother of 7, to watch over Sylvia and her sister Jenny for $20 a week. However, whenever the Likens visited, they were never informed Gertrude had Sylvia and Jenny taking turns sharing a mattress on the floor with 3 of Gertrude's children, or that Gertrude's house was the neighborhood's children's hangout spot to drink, smoke, and talk about sex. The worst of all was how Gertrude began taking out her frustration on both girls, focusing mostly on Sylvia, when the $20 checks began arriving late or not at all. Sylvia was constantly physically abused, starved, burned, carved on, and forced to consume her own vomit and feces. Sylvia Marie Likens was tortured to death by Gertrude, her children, and the neighborhood children. If you just got scared, you must now subscribe to this channel. Thank you, until next time.